Hello and welcome to GKL's review of the BMW 330e plug-in hybrid. So from the outside, it looks very much like any other 3 Series M Sport. This one comes with the M Sport Performance Pack, which gives you, M Sport Plus Pack, which gives you 19-inch wheels, darkened rear glass, and some of the gloss black exterior trim. But again, you get that on any 3 Series M Sport BMW as an option. The only other thing is that it's got this little e-drive, ironically above the fuel cap. And then as we go around the back, again, it just looks like any other M Sport, except again we've got an E here instead of a D or an I. Here is your electric cap. Push there. No rubber socket to cover it up, that's just it. And this halo glows different colours depending on what's being done. So whilst it's charging, it's yellow. If it's on a timer, then it's blue. If it's blue pulsing, then it's charging. When it's green, it's charged. When it's red, there's an issue. Okay, now the boot on these is actually quite good. A lot of plug-in hybrid cars suffer with boot because there's nowhere to put the batteries. But although the boot height is slightly higher than a regular car, there's still ample space. And the BMW is one of the few cars that has actually got somewhere to put the cable. Neat bag, in a neat pocket, in the side, and it still keeps all your boot space. It comes with an EVSE 3-pin plug and socket, and the only downside is that's all you get. There is no Type 2 charger that comes with the car, you have to buy it separately. As you can see, there's little to no difference in the interior between this and a diesel 3 Series. So in the BMW 330e, this is the plug-in hybrid 3 Series from BMW. It's incredibly popular at the moment, and so we thought we'd tell you something about it. Now, it's got an E mode button down by the gear stick. To start with, this tells you what mode you can drive the car. So when you push the button, it gives you options of how to drive it. Now at the moment it's in max E drive. We charged the battery just before we left, and that gives you full electric driving. And then if we go into battery save is the engine recharging the battery. One thing to say about battery save: it will only charge the battery up to 50% of maximum. It won't charge it any more than that. I don't know why. It's a bit strange, but it can only charge itself to 50%. And then the regular is auto e-drive. On auto e-drive, it uses both. Decides what it does, when it does it, and very much like a regular sort of Lexus Toyota style hybrid. So driving around town, the car will mostly put itself into max E mode, so it's only using the electric motor. This is the most efficient way of driving around town. The car does regenerate some electricity, although you don't get the same pull like you do in a Volkswagen system, although it is a little bit better than the Mercedes system. So inside the car, it's like any other 3 Series. There is nothing that stands out to make it any different from the inside. Some of the dials are slightly different, some of the screens are slightly different, but as far as trim goes, there's been no compromises in the car itself. No need of lighter weight materials, no need of using something instead of what would be on a regular 3 Series M Sport, it is all the same, and that would carry on through the range, as you can get this in SE, Luxury, Sport and M Sport like you can the rest of the BMW range. So also near the gear stick is the Sport and Eco Pro modes that are on every other 3 Series BMW. So the Sport, if you push it towards Sport on the screen, you can go into dynamic driving, so it firms the suspension up, increases the throttle response. You can also put it into Comfort, which gives you a more sort of regular, balanced driving experience. And then Eco Pro, and Eco Pro will do its very best to make it as efficiently, economical as possible. So now we've got it in Sport mode, it's now using the engine as opposed to the battery pack. And the dial again has changed slightly in front of me to give me the instant MPG and any charge rate. So now it's using both engine and electrical power. When we accelerate now, it will use both drivetrains to give you that additional power, much like the GT button as found on the Volkswagen system. Driving in Eco Pro mode, this window here in the rev counter gives you the amount of power with the needle swinging one way and then charge when you're decelerating. So at the moment, if I accelerate and the power comes on, if I lift off and coast, then it comes back towards the charge side of things. And also you'll note that the rev counter dropped down to 0. That's because that's when it's using electric power instead of petrol. So we've probably only travelled 6-7 miles, and already the battery is showing 75% charge, and when we left we had 100%. So this thing does use its battery quite quickly, even when you're in hybrid mode, when it's using both the electric motor and the combustion engine. It does recharge quite quickly as well though. But like I said before, only up to 50% whilst you're driving. So just get on the M5 motorway, we've got it in Sport mode. It's got nearly 250 horsepower, this car, and because of the way it delivers it, if you push the accelerator hard, it does accelerate very quickly because it uses the electrical system to boost the power initially and then let the turbocharged engine take over after. So you do get a shove back in the seat every time you hit the accelerator, which you may or may not like. So currently on the M5 doing 70 miles an hour, and the instant MPG is having a bit of a shocker. Looking down at it, and now we're just going over the crest of a bridge, to be fair, so we'll see how it flat on the flat. So about 49, 52. So at 70 you're getting around the 50 to the gallon out of it, which isn't too bad for this type of vehicle, as these vehicles perform much better on round town driving rather than open road driving. Chargeable at a service station, only with the AC socket though, not with anything else. BMW doesn't rapid charge, which I think is a bit of a shame as it's a second generation. Another issue, potentially, is where the socket is. Because unless you park where the Nissan Leaf is, it makes it a bit of a faff. So we're we're just driving along in full electric mode on a sort of country type road. We're at 40 miles an hour at the moment. Now this car reportedly will do 80 in full electric, so we'll just see how far we can go before it puts the engine in. Now it's just put the engine in at 55, so I don't know where they got the electric from, the electric miles per hour from, because every time you try to get anywhere near it, the car decides it's not efficient to drive it like this. You must drive it with the engine. So yeah, I'll be really interested to know how they got it to 80 miles an hour in pure electric. For more information and leasing rates on this as well as other cars, go to gkluk.com or westwoodleasing.com.